Anyway, this day we got to this orphanage, and it was actually full of children who had been severely abused. A lot of them were deformed because their mother had beat their head in trying to kill them, or threw them in the fire, things like that. But there was this one little girl that wouldn't leave me alone even when we played games. And she didn't talk. So I didn't have time to really find out much about her that day, but you know what? When I left there that night, we ended up going to this real richy event. I was in a glamorous long gown and hairdo and makeup and whatever, and when we finished, I said to the leader of our team, I want to go back to the orphanage tomorrow. And he goes, well, we have the morning off, but we've got to be in an event at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, I don't care, can somebody take me? I need to go back. I want to go see that little girl. So the woman who operates the orphanage, actually, by the way, she was the first woman conservation officer in South Africa. She was the first woman pilot in South Africa. She owns her own airline now. But what she does is, her passion is to help children who have been rejected and nobody else will look after. She has an orphanage called Mismatched Shoes, because most of the kids who appear there, if they're wearing shoes, they're wearing mismatched shoes. Odie is her name, and she came and picked me up that day. We went bright and early, and on the drive back in the bush where we were going, where this little village was, I said, can you tell me about this little girl? And she said, oh, Colleen, she's just had such a terrible, she's so lonely, she won't talk. She hasn't talked in 6 years. Her mother died 6 years ago. And after that, her father physically abused her, sexually abused her. And she doesn't communicate. She won't let anybody hug her or touch her. And we really have a hard time with her. And I said, well, I don't know, she really touched my heart, and I just want to see her today. Well, when we pulled up and got out of the van, she came running over. And she's like, she was 12 years old. She looked like she was maybe 9. I have a 12-year-old granddaughter. So I was trying to talk to her and try to identify her and tell her stories and whatever. And so I said to her, I said, would you like to be able to talk? And she just smiled at me and whatever. And I said, well, you know what? I know sign language. I think if you learned a few signs, you might be able to communicate and whatever. And I said, but I really only know a couple things. And I said, I know one. And I said, this, can you do that? And she put her fingers up, and I said, it means I love you. When I did that, she leapt up onto me. I had these sunglasses on. She knocked them off my head, hit the wall behind me, and actually smashed my sunglasses. They're expensive and they're guaranteed. I could have sent them back, but I'm never going to send them back. Because every time I put them on and I look at the cracks in that, knowing that these glasses hit the wall out of her enthusiasm, that little girl never reacted or responded to anything before until somebody said, I love you.